Jason is here.
Bastard.
The War from MakingStarWars.net. And this is Rob from shopsketchcraft.com. Is that what it is?
Yeah, shopsketchcraft.com. Hey, but by the way, if you want to get some, you better get that in before Thanksgiving because I shut the store down over holidays.
Really?
They jacked the shipping up like 3 times, like basic shipping. And so I just can't. It cost me money last year for a period from Thanksgiving through January. You just don't ship anything. Ever since that DeJoy motherfucker took over our post office.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get rid of him. Anyway, I cannot stop laughing every time that Filoni action figure, the Trapper Wolf dude, shows up.
Yeah.
That gets me every time, Jason.
Today I don't know if anybody's ever seen this or not. So if they have, I apologize, but I don't think anybody's ever seen this. And it's the Andor season 2 crew gift, and I have the letter and everything. And so we'll
wait. The last crew gift we saw was that cool shirt where they were like on a speeder bike. Was it Kenobi?
Oh,
remember that cool one? It was well drawn. I was really impressed. Yeah. I'd like to buy that shirt. They were like on a rig. They were driving a speeder bike with a camera rig on it or something, right?
I don't remember now. Yeah, I always get these, and sometimes I'm not allowed to show them. Sometimes they're like, no, it's mine. You know, and other times they're like, I don't care.
Okay, can I guess? Can I guess what I think it might be? Jason hasn't shown me, so I'm gonna take a guess, right?
Okay, guess.
Right. They got one of those mini packs of cereals, but each one is a different character. Like they do posters. Right?
You know, I went to like a convention years ago. I don't remember where it was. So if anybody remembers, let me know in the chat. But it was like fake cereal boxes with like Greedos. It was like little tiny ones. It had like,
yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would
I want a variety pack.
That would have been that would have been a pretty, like, I guess, like a cute crew gift for Andor, but they went more like gravitas serious. This is Andor season 2.
It's Gilroy, right?
This is Tony Gilroy, bitch. You know, welcome to prime time, bitch. So
Gilroy puts on your sweater, right, and a glove.
So.
All right, well, show us, Jason. What do they get?
Okay, no, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. Wait, let me see if I can find where. Okay, so the letter, it just opens up with like, thank you for your service, your drive, and your energy, and you know, you shared these skills and blah blah blah. Okay, they say thank you. Then though, here's the interesting part about the crew letter. We've all been ripped off in various degrees. Last season with COVID, this time around, with the complexity of the production and the strikes. And then it goes on to say, like, no rap parties. We've shared so few of the communal rituals that celebrate the teamwork and mania that make a thing like this possible. And what kind of thing is this? It's almost beyond imagining what you brought to life. 24 episodes, 8 films of this quality, of this abundance and detail. It's insane what you've accomplished. So one more time, thank you from all of us to all of you, with every good wish going forward, with all the promises of blah blah blah.
When the $25 gift card to the Disney store, right?
No, when the dust clears, when we finally get the chance to bring this home, we'll do everything we can to make bright the show you worked so incredibly hard to bring to life. Be proud, take care, travel safely. Tony, Kathy, and I think it says Sane. I think it's the last name of the producer. So yeah, so I mean, it's a nice letter. It reads authentic. It didn't, you know what I mean? It read like somebody actually, like probably Gilroy or somebody wrote the letter and was like, yeah, you guys got ripped off. You know what I mean? In terms of the, you know, it's kind of like the, you know, I don't know, the asshole who cares about high school and didn't get to go to prom because of COVID or something. That's kind of like their, you know, experience, I guess, like as a crew on that one. And but what did they get? Well, they got this right here is where it gets a little interesting, is this like challenge
nipple
coin kind of thing. I don't know.
They got a 3PO nipple.
No, it's a coin.
3PO's
It's a
real.
coin.
Oh,
And this is the back
oh,
of it.
I see it. Much more interesting. Okay.
And it has a TIE Interceptor on it. I'm sorry, not a TIE Advance. Sorry, Darth Vader's style of TIE fighter. Also was big in Star Wars Rebels. If you remember in Star Wars Rebels, the prototype of the ship is what's kind of like contested for a time. I think that happens.
I remember that.
But Tony Gilroy seems to have read through the scripts of Rebels and like uses that to sort of interface with story stuff. So
well,
I wouldn't
to
be
be
surprised.
fair, it's only because last year Filoni sent him toilet paper with all the scenes printed on the toilet paper with subtitles, so he's been able to read the episodes before he wipes his,
when you put it that way,
his gone.
So that's the TIE Advance, and then this is the front of it, and you
Quake.
can see it's Andor season 2. And then it has
this is the Quake logo.
Oh,
to this day.
You know what? I have something to throw up on the screen. In a second here, if I could find it. I took my kids to see Five Nights at Freddy's the other day. They're big fans of the show, and
made 138 million worldwide last weekend. You believe that?
Oh yeah, I do.
Blumhouse doing it again,
and I'll tell you, it's not a good movie. Kids loved it though, so
hey,
it's hard.
Remember Flintstones the movie?
well, no, you want to you want to know what the experience was, Rob? Imagine if you went to see Garbage Pail Kids. Imagine if you went to see Masters of the Universe. And
I did.
You walked out. Yeah, and I watched both of them too.
And in theaters, yeah.
Imagine you walked out happy as a child, but your parents knew you just saw a turd. That was the experience. Okay, check this out. So as I'm
a little girl cried at the Garbage Pail Kids movie when the crocodile bit that dude. I was so happy. I loved it.
I was so mad at Garbage Pail Kids and for Masters of the Universe. I was like, why did they come to Earth? I hate this. I was mad about that. I liked it when they were in Eternity.
Skeletor and the music was so good. I gave it a pass.
So there's a restaurant, like a chain, I think, called Fire Wings. Okay. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Wait, hold on. If I could fucking grab the image. Come on, computer. By the way, Tom's computer comes tomorrow. We're gonna have a new computer tomorrow. All right, look at this shit though. Do you see it? Do you see what I see? Can you see it? Let me see.
The Quake logo.
No, it's the Rebel insignia right here in the logo.
It's the Rebel insignia.
Look at that. It's like completely it. They completely just turned the Rebel insignia into a fucking chicken. And they're like, firewings.com. You know what I mean? But that right there.
Someone tried really hard to be clever. All right. They were trying to create an icon, and they had 3 different like examples, and I could see them working it all together. But yeah. At the end of the day, can you do?
What can you do?
No. Well, you know what you do? You get that as a tramp stamp, Jason. Just, as a chat, you put that on your back, and then you show up and they give you free Fire Wings for life because you tramp stamped yourself with that symbol. Yeah. So as a kid who grew up around radio show promotions, that is exactly what people do. So I have a question. I'm a simple dude. What do you do with these coins? Like, what do you do with coins?
I don't know.
What are you supposed to do with these?
I don't. So Chris is saying with his Always Sunny in Philadelphia avatar, I think. Are you the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Chris? Adjust nerd glasses. I hate to be that guy, but the TIE Advanced has a different shape. Looks like a TIE Interceptor to me. Awesome looking coin.
Phoenix, you're wrong. It's a TIE Advanced.
Yeah.
It's Vader ship.
I mean, is there? I mean, yeah. When I'm looking at it, I mean, I'm just seeing the things. I'm not seeing. I can see from the corner bottoms of the wings that it's not pointed.
No. They. I know what you're thinking, but they would taper in at an angle because they actually go in. They're not straight at you. Yeah. So no, it's Vader ship. And I know because I have the Star Wars arcade game right behind me, and I play it almost daily. And guess what year I'm always shooting at? Vader's ship.
I'm gonna say this, Chris. I like where your head's at. I like how you're looking for the details.
And Gilroy don't give a shit about Return of the Jedi. Fuck that movie. So
what you said the opposite. He's Return of the Jedi is his favorite movie, and that Rob's a bitch. I saw it on the interview.
To make the fun out of, to make fun of it.
No, that's not what he said.
To look, literally... to be fair, it has Carrie in a bikini, and Luke wears the most Ken-like hair ever. Well, Nadine has the Ken-like hair.
Nadine, have some fucking respect. You haven't seen the movie? Have you even seen Return of the Jedi, Episode 6? The one after the Empire
looks like? He looks like Zed, the automated comedian. You remember that dude?
Yeah.
He used to come out in the 90s and pretend to be an animatronic robot.
I think General Nadine looks like if like a man with like really, really long gray pubes, like styled the pubes around the head of his dick.
Yeah, he looks like the role that Carrie Fisher should have been playing, and not going down with them and playing second fiddle to everyone. She should have been leading the entire rebellion.
No, this is just you rewriting something 40 years later. You're not allowed to do it.
No, I wrote that shit 30 years ago. 40.
You didn't say that when you were 5 years old.
I did.
You were like,
no, I did.
Leia should be okay.
She should be up there in space, leading that. She led the rebellion, like that. She's in charge. She's leading them in the
Solo
hot
holder. God,
huh?
Think.
Least interesting part of the movie.
Hold me.
That's
when I remember that. I actually the one astute thing I knew as a child or as like a teenager, I was like, that scene, I remember laughing at it and being like, there's going to be more of this because this is just emerging in this franchise basically. And
look,
then
I grew up around critical nerds, Jason. I had the critical thing in me quickly. My uncles were the original internet asshole nerds. All right, like they were.
All right. This one is not from me.
Can you take that coin to Chuck E. Cheese and just like, like you get a free play, but it also comes out the coin slot? Like
absolutely not. They will Five Nights at Freddy's you if you do it. Don't try it. They'll kill you.
Did I ever tell you my Chuck E. Cheese story? I can do this really quick.
Okay.
It's coin related. So in the 80s and 70s,
not a coin collecting podcast, Rob.
Well, we are now. Santa's getting real excited. He's like, Gatlinburg, you can sell coins at Gatlinburg. You can sell Jesus electric turncoats and coins.
Yeah.
So in the 80s, they used to have these like things at strip clubs where like it was like a window would go up. You put a coin in and you could see a woman behind a glass window. It was all big. Okay. And they banned them in all of California in the late 80s, early 90s. So my dad did security for the strip club and they had all these coins. And so my dad took them and they had nudie chicks on these coins, but they were the exact same coins as the Chuck E. Cheese tokens, just with nudies on them.
Yeah. I do remember back in the day, if you had a token like from a car wash or something, you could literally like use it at Chuck E. Cheese and the Aladdin's Castle. It worked. It did.
So my dad took me, the neighbors, kids, every fucking kid we could get hold of. We went in one shot and used all the nudie tokens because my dad knew it wouldn't work twice.
Yeah,
we just unleashed hundreds of dollars worth of nudie tokens into Chuck E. Cheese in one night. It's the greatest Chuck E. Cheese moment of my life. So good.
So you Star Wars dorks will fight about anything. Baymax is saying, I think Chris is right. Looks more like TIE Interceptor. TIE Advanced sides are longer, straight bits before the bent foils. I'll send DM.
Yeah, I heard Baymax hangs out with questionable people in the green room. So what do I know? What do I know?
Just say it. Star Wars Santa. All right. So this I saw this on Star Wars Meg's Discord, and this is a crew jacket from Skeleton Crew. And when you translate the Arabesh on the sides, it says a Tatin middle school gamma. So I say a Tatin, you say a Tato. A Tatin, a Tato, a Tatin.
I'm at Adin. Like I'm an at I'm at Adin.
You know what? You're right. You're fucking right, Rob. They did take AT-AT and make it into a school.
Yeah.
You're fucking dead on. Yep. They went to AT-AT school, you guys. But who needs to go to AT-AT middle school when the Empire's fallen? Or has it? Dun, dun, dun.
You think the Empire makes middle school kids sell candy bars for
Yes.
Like that slave
Oh,
labor they
that
made
is
us do.
that is
What was
totally.
that hole?
It's
What was that? Makes kids sell
it's
candy bars. Like,
it's the school getting free labor and then pretending like it's for, you know, charity. I do remember like when I was a kid though, we had these like giant Easter eggs we sold one year, and they were fucking good, dude. There's like fudge on the inside and everything. There was like these giant, like probably like this big, probably like, you know, like Easter eggs. And like one time I was talking to Bespin and he's like saying that they on Easter they have these kind of eggs like that. And then I was like, and I couldn't think of how I had them, but I think that's how I had it. But they have like giant Cadbury eggs in the UK and shit. Like, but we just get
well,
candy in packages that's like set Easter themed.
the one year they wanted me to do the candy bar thing, there was this kid I was friends with who had a very similar last name to mine. It was the same name but spelled differently.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we vaguely looked alike because we're white nerds, and we were friends. But that year, he decided to just be an asshole to me. It happens when you get middle. So he said, I'm not gonna be Rob's friend no more. So when the candy bar thing came out, I just put his name down, and they thought I was him. So
Yeah.
I kept all the candy bars.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah.
We had this guy that we weren't a big fan of, and we just would go up to the thing and say what was his name, and then we would eat the candy. We walked through the Lakewood Mall selling the candy, and then going once again to Aladdin's Castle to play Star Wars pinball with that.
You were at Atten.
At 10. That's what it is. It's at 10.
Like
so,
Tintin.
yeah, Bespin and I used to speculate, based off of the trailer, that the kids were actually orphans. Now, I don't think it's off the table necessarily, because when you watch the trailer, the father, dark-skinned man, the quote mother, the teacher, light-skinned woman, walk in, and they're going to bedrooms. So it could be like a private school kind of scenario, like where the kids are sent away to this school and that they do all bunk together. And that might be like what it is. But they do seem to, like when you look at the school, there's a bunch of kids in the classroom. They're not obviously not all living in that house. So that was the interesting part, was that it looks like they are part of the same home. And so it might, that might just be us reading the limited evidence and coming to a conclusion. So, but it does appear that the school that they would go to would be called Adat-10 Middle School Gamma. So, yeah, I mean, and that's probably the planet that they start out on. Not really, and that's crew merch or whatever you want, crew gift quality, because the planet that they start out on, probably the least important place in the whole movie or the whole show, right? I mean, it's where they fucking leave because they don't want to be there. So, so that's. But
they don't want to be in Space Marin County, or no. What was it? Simi Valley, Space Simi Valley.
Yeah, but yeah, they, I don't know when we're gonna see Skeleton Crew. To be honest, I don't think right now anybody knows. But the one thing, if you ask Bespin, Bulletin, anybody, it cannot come out in January. That rumor, it can't. It's impossible.
Why?
If it comes out in January, there won't be any promotion for it.
Why? It's Christmas.
Yeah, windows have closed.
Oh.
For bookings on certain things and things like that, just that we know, things that we keep tabs on. If it comes out in January, it will mean that they decided not to promote the show. The show is the most expensive Southern Californian production yet. They're going to promote the show. On the flip side of that, just to step on my own toes a little bit, Acolyte is the flagship show of 2024, not Skeleton Crew. So Acolyte's going to be where they get the most serious. If Acolyte comes first, and I think Acolyte will come first. I think we're more likely to see Acolyte first. Excuse me. When Acolyte does come, when it does release all over your screen.
You just been wanting to make that joke for 5 minutes.
I just knew I was gonna get somebody was gonna say it, so Meg's
over there just like
Oh, look! You said her name, and there she is.
I knew it.
Meg.
I knew
Now,
it.
this is Meg just taking what I told her and then acting like she told me. I love you, Meg.
But Jason,
you son of a bitch.
do you know what Bosk is doing?
No, what is Boss doing, Meg? How? What?
It's been confirmed.
Oh, Star Wars Meg scoop. Bosk is the principal of Atatin Middle School in Bad Batch. Sorry, Meg.
Just fuck him.
I love you, Meg. I love you, Meg.
Yeah.
Oh no, Chris Spreezy in with Jude Law's character being in the clan. Oh no. How's it going, guys? Good to see you guys. I do get told a lot, Meg. You're not wrong, but
yeah, it's true.
But yeah, but I let everybody know I got this from Meg's Discord. If you support Meg on any place you support Meg, you get access to her Discord, and it's a wealth of collected information. It's a good resource, I find. So that's
so
why.
You say the Discord's good, but her YouTube show's bad, is what you're saying?
That's not what I said.
Oh, you didn't say that.
I said her YouTube show is not as amazing as this show. No, her YouTube show. She is the best at what would you call it? A news aggregate? I guess that would be like the genre of Star Wars Meg's channel. Meg is the best Star Wars news aggregate on YouTube. It's just a fact, Jack. Meg says Bosk was popular when I was a kid. Yeah, us too. I mean, Bosk was like the mail away Empire Strikes Back figure. And that's like before my time. Like I'm an early Star Wars fan. I'm not even kidding. Like I get into Star Wars like at like age 3. And so I didn't get to mail away for Bosk or any of that, but all of the kids who had Bosk who didn't care about it were giving it to me.
Yeah, Dengar was the loser. Nobody liked Dengar.
I liked Dengar's backpack, but we thought he had bandages because he was injured, and I thought that made him a weak ass bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a kid,
yeah,
I was like,
wasn't cool.
I was like, oh, he's the bounty hunter who always gets hurt and can't finish the job. He was like on the buddy cop, on the road movie. There's always like the two people like Dumb and Dumber chasing the idiots, and then they can't get it together and always getting hurt. That was Dengar for me as a kid.
Right.
Oh shit. I remember a few years ago, Spreezy, he posted this picture of his grandma with like a headscarf on, and she looked a little like Dengar.
Oh,
she looked
yeah.
No.
Oh, Chris says that. Oh, Chris.
Yeah. Chris is like my grand. My grandma is Dengar, and it was the funniest fucking thing of all time.
We need to make that shirt and have that available in the store. It's a nice Star Wars font.
Yeah. His grandma's adorable, by the way. Yeah. So Baymax says, for LOM and Dengar was Melloway. For LOM, for LOM.
Forlom wasn't that great either because it was a 3PO body.
I don't know if Dengar was a Melloway in the States.
It was Bosk and IG-88 that were the dope ones.
I remember I think Akbar, Palpatine, and Anakin were the Melloways for Return of the Jedi Force?
That's the gold coin connection to Return of the Jedi.
The power of the Force
because they gave you those powers of the Force coins, which were stupid too. I hated those coins.
Oh, Meg, I both love and hate Dengar in episode 9. Like that's him. I had the scoop on that guy, by the way. They weren't calling him Dengar during production. He's the guy, if you look at my old stories, it's Drax. This is the guy I say that they were calling Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy when they were making it. And Meg didn't know about my site back during episode 9, so she thinks all these other punk bitches were fucking scooping. I was scooping, Meg. They were just following my coattails, bullet pointing. But that said, I didn't know.
To be fair though, Jason, the real scoops were buried in your podcast under 6 hours of. You think Jason? People 6 think
hours
Jason
of marijuana
tangents.
Smoke, Rob. 6 hours.
I had to sit through those podcasts where I was like, okay, I know for 2 hours they're gonna complain about shit that got nothing to do about Star Wars, and then we'll get to the good stuff. So I just leave it on.
Yeah, well, that's what I used to do that on purpose. I mean, I still do that on this show. I'll be like, let's make him listen.
That's why I cut you off sometimes because I know I'm doing that to future Robs. Yeah,
stop it. But no. But anyways, what I dislike about the Dengar thing is that it puts him in a weird place. Like you almost can't use Dengar, because if you use Dengar, he becomes that monstrosity. You know what I mean? And like, so in a way, I kind of hate it. I kind of think that like it for very little return, it wrote everybody in a corner with Dengar. Like Dengar could get killed could have got killed like in the Mandalorians era, and that would have probably made the most sense.
But then he'd
But
be
now,
Deadgar.
yeah, Dengar.
They should bring him back with the witches, so he's undeadgar.
So Rick, it turns out around, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe, one of the Lucasfilm employees was in the archive and came across the Dengar setup, his stuff and the production photography and everything. Dengar doesn't have bandages on. He actually has sort of like almost like a ninja mask with the face cut out. It looks like it's like bandages, and they even like, and we mostly think that because of the old figure, but it's not. It's actually like a I don't know, like I said, like almost like a ski mask kind of thing. But yeah, some kind of Star Wars version of it or whatever. But hey, Astro, how's it going, dude? Astro says, my followers don't like how your scoops in podcast. They say it's much better to read it in a tweet posted by popular accounts. So dumb, so dumb. I love whenever I see that happen to me. I mean, I actually obviously despise it, but when it does happen, it's funny because it's so fucking wrong or like skewed or whatever. But the best part about it is when they skew, and then months, 6 months, a year later, like I'm told like I fucked it up. My slant was wrong. No, it wasn't me. It was just that you guys, those people.
You know what I
don't know how
blame,
to.
Jason?
Yeah.
I blame all these kids that grew up with live service games. You know?
What?
Yeah.
What? That's all
Yeah.
As a True needs.
What?
You know?
It's the live service games that did it to him.
So remember when people thought Crosshair was Dengar because Bra got an injury? Yeah.
Who's Crosshair?
Bad Batch guy.
Oh. Oh. Right.
Rick says
no,
Dengar,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Dengar does kind of
Quit.
have like his mask is kind of like made out of toilet paper. It's true.
He was dumb looking.
You know what?
Whatever
I
they're
would
trying to go
say-
for didn't work.
Who, Dengar?
Yeah.
Well, he's not supposed to be heroic at all. He's just supposed to be a sleazebag on like for one shot, and then
Yeah,
now
but he
because
just didn't
Empire
look
Strikes Back,
cool.
he's like
Lobot
he's
looked cooler than Dengar, and he's a
Oh
bald
yeah.
guy.
No, I mean they're. I mean, of like I said, like the bounty hunter thing is just kind of like not put together with the most thought. I mean, fucking Bosk is wearing a Doctor Who costume. The space suit is from Doctor Who. And
Right,
it
but
turns
to
out,
be fair, originally they wanted him to wear the long scarf, and they took that off. So could have been worse.
As the truth says, my Discord post tweets from big accounts, and it will be something I made a video on a day or week before. I laugh out loud. Yeah, I know. Makes us, Jason. I know what you're going to say, but it's been a year since I did this. Will any Bad Batch members come to live action? You know, the I would say in reality, the truth is my take on that, my analysis on that would be, it won't happen until two or three things happen. The Bad Batch is done. You've seen Rex on screen. I think that it, like Tamara Morrison coming back as a clone or playing a clone, you don't want to oversaturate his use. You don't want to confuse people. You don't want to give people too much of the same thing. But Dave Filoni, I mean, look at what he just did with Ahsoka. I mean, in the Ahsoka series, things from all of his animated shows have popped up in some form. So I think if any of them survive the series, which I assume some will, so I think it would be completely possible. But I just don't see them putting like Hunter on screen and then they haven't done like Rex yet. So I would say the way my order would go, Rex has to show up first. That's just my thinking. Hey Chris, we got somebody on Facebook. Almost nobody ever talks to us from Facebook, so that's fun. Has to be Omega. Is anyone right? If anyone, right? Omega. Well, yeah. I mean, I would Omega. I'm Omega. She will probably show up in something eventually, I would imagine. You know, but once again, you can't go and like, you know, if you go and you put somebody on screen, it means they can't die. You're writing into that corner, and it'd have to be really significant. And I think fans also have to ask what happened to her. And I think you can't go and explain what happened to somebody without telling it first, because if you tell it and then you do the episode, then people don't care. It's not a big deal. So I think after this season of Bad Batch, then I'd say that they're on the table for more things. That said, Bad Batch has extraordinarily low numbers for Star Wars stuff.
Extraordinarily low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
I would agree.
And so it doesn't mean that they wouldn't want to grow the characters and wouldn't say fine, but we're going to do something else. But I also think that, like, in terms of the opportunities to make the member berries splash, to use the South Park reference, because I think we should talk about that for a minute here. I think you would go with things that are more have stronger roots. You know, I like the Bad Batch story itself, but it doesn't really seem to be like that prominent, you know, and it doesn't seem to really permeate very far. But yeah, but no, see, Lucasfilm knows the opportunities, I think, Meg. Like I said, I just think that you know, it's putting the cart before the horse or whatever. We got to get past that show. I mean, if we know everybody lives, or they write themselves into corners or whatever, they just it's not the way it's done. So, but did you watch the South Park episode?
I
On
have
Kathleen
not had a
Kennedy?
chance to watch. I watched the
Ah,
clip, but I haven't seen it. You know, I canceled my whole Paramount thing, so
yeah.
I'm like, do I re-up for a month for one thing?
It's really good though. It is. It's like the other the last couple of South Park movies. Maybe it's just because like it hits close to home. I thought it was extra good, but when I was watching it, I was like laughing, like actually laughing. Sometimes I watch South Park and I laugh inside in my dark little black heart. But on that one, it was actually really funny.
Here's the thing though with South Park, they used to have a South Park archive site
Mm-hmm.
that was it was actually ad driven. It was like legit. It wasn't just like
Yeah.
fans put it up. So you could watch all the episodes, you just had ads. And I didn't mind it because the ads were in the designated commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's the way I watch the show. I'm fine with that. You know, I thought that was a fair trade. And then when they made that whole deal with Paramount, all that shit went off. And then I felt really like, yeah, I don't like this. I was willing to pay. I was willing to do the ads with the cartoon in the ad designated spot. So I don't know. It's just
Yeah, I don't like the I don't like getting 6 kind of like half-assed episodes on HBO or whatever, and then having to go over to Paramount to watch like the
yeah,
longer form film. Like the whole thing, I get why they did it for the money and stuff. Fine, by all means, you know, get yours. But
right.
yeah, it is kind of but I do prefer the longer form films over 6 season episode, you know, a 6 episode season of the show. So, but whatever. Point being is, when I was watching it at first, I was like, man, Kathleen Kennedy. I was like, they're going pretty hard on her. But then I was like, what they do in the episode that's funny but also not fair is like she's not like the president of Lucasfilm in the episode. She's a Disney CEO. So basically, and
Right.
like it's more in actuality is more of they're more roasting the Willow, but they don't ever say it. You know what I mean? They're like, but they're more you know, Cartman's whole thing is make her gay and lame. You know what I mean? Like you put a woman in it, make her gay, make her lame. Like that's like their motto in that, you know. And when you really get down
Seems
to
like
it,
she should
like
have been in charge of Disney Plus because it's more of the Disney Plus model than anything else. But
yeah, but it is like it is
yeah.
really funny, and it does really smart things like in it. Like they'll make a scene where like Cartman is a black woman from the alternate universe, right?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and when they do it though, they will make the scene not work on purpose to show like how bad this is. But then they will make the scene work and actually be funny to show that no, but it can work. And like the whole like more the thing about it is
But
I've
the red
seen
pill guys won't get that. You know that,
well
Jason.
here's no here's what's hilarious about the far left and the far right Star Wars jackasses. They all think that it's not about them. But the South Park thing is roasting everybody. And if you're a right winger and you think it's like on your side, when South Park makes you Eric Cartman, that's you've been condemned.
Right.
South Park never makes Eric Cartman the guy that you want to be. It's embarrassing to be Eric Cartman. But the moral of the story at the end of the episode ends up being like, there's this moment where Eric Cartman's with Kathleen Kennedy, right? And she's like, and he's like, I'm sorry, Kathy, I didn't mean to send you all those letters. And she's all, it's okay, Eric. She's all, you sent one and there were thousands. He's all, well, actually, I sent about 12,000 a day. It was all Eric Cartman sending the racist, homophobic.
In the same way, it's like 7 people are the ones banning all the books across the country. They just keep going to every state,
Yeah.
Look that one up, folks.
But the moral of the story ends up being that as those assholes put the heat up, then Kennedy has to put the heat up. And then it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy of making everybody, lame. You know what I mean? Like it's what ends up happening when you go with that level of criticism. Then you're like, well, and when you do have like real racist, like KKK style fucking people going at your thing like constantly, it does end up in that. And I do agree with like their, I don't know, astute assessment of how it worked. And I do think that it, like, in reality, like I've always said, it doesn't really, most of the time with Star Wars, it doesn't matter what the race of the character is, because they're not supposed to be from Earth. And so you end up just getting like, oh, well, like just general like representation of demographics ends up becoming sort of like seeing a black woman as a hero or whatever, not something that you are used to seeing. So they do try and take it there. You know what I mean? They like do try and make it like a thing. But that said, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like just make everybody, like a white man, and that's it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was a funny episode, and like I said, it was funny watching people on the internet get mad and people think that anything was on their side. They roasted every single person on there, And then Bestman says, I'm behind in the stream, so forgive me. Jason joked that Meg got Bestman Bulletin, got BB. Oh, Bad Batch to Acolyte Skeleton Crew from him. Who did you get that from? Acolyte Flagship Show. Don't Reddit me, Jason. I'm not Redditing you. I just can't go around saying Bestman Bulletin every fucking second. Put the fucking story. Well, yeah, get out of here. You quit.
You quit. You can't complain when you quit. When you unquit, you come back and complain. You take my $3 and you go get yourself a Doppio.
Well, I'm sending him a thing, see if he wants to come on. Yeah, no, but the like I said, like the South Park thing is accurate. I mean, there are literally times when it is pandering. There truly is. Like and like in Willow, when fucking General Kalamed Morgan's lesbian daughters are dancing to Crimson and Clover in General Kale's village. You're like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, you know what I mean? It's the most pandering thing I've ever seen from them. And so it definitely does happen. At the same time, because like a black guy is cast as Finn, that doesn't make it pandering. And that's not even what South Park is saying, but that's what the guys who are going like, South Park championed us. No, they're not. South Park is literally shot on everybody, which is why they're fantastic. That's why they've always been good. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes there's peaks and valleys with the show's quality, and when you make that many episodes of anything, that's going to happen. But that one is definitely worth watching. It's pretty funny, and I think they were actually nicer to Kathleen Kennedy than they were to Lucas and Spielberg. Oh, Meg, you are so wrong, Meg.
Family Guy taps out. The gimmick runs
season 3.
Matter of fact, yeah, it really does. The universe just doesn't hold up. And matter of fact, you could put various South Park characters in their own miniseries and you could still watch it. And we've seen that doesn't work with Family Guy at all. Like Brian and Stewie are great, but you can't make a whole series out of it. And the way that Cartman is something, but it really takes the whole group. No, it just doesn't. I've been at the forefront of both of them. I've analyzed it, and there's a reason why people can mimic Family Guy, but they can't mimic South Park. That's the difference,
Yeah, I mean South Park's whole thing.
You can't. Simpsons purely became Family Guy.
This guy's over here. He's he's raging.
All I hear? Wah, 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 wah. I quit. Wah, 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 wah. I quit. That's all I hear.
Fucking quitter.
Yeah, quitter.
Right, fucking quitter. What? Oh, I'm trying to go to. Well, let me here. Let me bring up MakingStarWars.net right now. This is an article I wrote on MakingStarWars.net. Right here.
Hey, it should say Bespin at Atten. You should change that. At Tatten. Bespin at Atten. I like it.
Oh wait, I have to click on. Sorry, I don't remember how to use my site. Let me click on it here.
You scroll down, Jason. It's called a mouse wheel. You just
Ubisoft delay an unnamed large game to next fiscal year, expected to be Star Wars Outlaws.
No shit.
By Bespin Bulletin. I mean, by Jason Ward. Before we continue with the news of the day, I'd like to share with you that you can support my work in 2 ways. Patreon. Wait, Bespin Bulletin has a Patreon? What the fuck? Look at it. You can join it for free? Look, come on, guys.
Well, that's your first mistake. No, give them an option. Make them pay.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. And say you paywall everything. Fuck you.
Yeah, paywall everything. Paywall fucking everything, dude. And you could also send them a coffee.
And make Mexico pay for it. Build a big paywall.
Send them a coffee. Stop plagiarizing Making Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. Santa was like, "That's right. You should make Mexico pay for it." So Stan, not now. It's not a good time.
Yesterday, Ubisoft held its latest earnings call, and during which revealed that, did I just hear a little fucking pot? Oh man. Who dis? New phone. Who dis?
New phone. Who dis?
How's it going, man?
Not bad, man. Just being oppressed by you. You know, you're Redditing me.
Yeah.
And I'm just taking it. I'm bent over. I'm ready.
You're like George Lucas.
X is gonna give it to you. X is gonna give it to you.
So, Ubisoft did not specify which title had suffered a delay. It's believed to be their Star Wars title, Outlaws, which is being worked on by Massive Entertainment. So
we're also doing the Avatar game, which comes out in December.
And the Avatar game is unlikely to be delayed because of a release date reschedule already, correct?
Yeah, it was supposed to be out last year, like holiday last year, and they delayed it, till this December. I think impressions come out of it either today or tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think, influencers and, outlets have played it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be out any day now.
Okay. So do you think Rob is going to be like tearing his room apart in a rage as well? Do you think he'll be like, no, the game didn't say I see you?
No, I thought Rob was going to go the other way.
I see you because it's a first person. It's a first person game. It's stupid.
Wait, you sounded like Kanye to me. Say it again. Not like the anti-Semitic stuff. Like you just went in my ear.
Oh, me or Rob?
Rob did. What did you say, Rob?
Oh, it's a first person shooter. Like I'm not the biggest fan of that They did that with the last Avatar game. I don't know why I think they kept it that way because the Na'vi are like 9 feet tall,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
you still see the other 9 feet. So I don't, and it zooms out when you're flying. I don't know. I just don't. I don't want to traverse a jungle in first person. Like you want more like that Spider-Man swinging through the thing, or Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know.
Hold
It's
on.
just weird.
I'm updating.
I think Rob's gonna like mod this game to tickle his fantasies.
Yeah.
Oh no, man! I don't like to do work when I play video games.
All right.
It requires effort.
As the truth says that the impressions are out now, and I got a big scoop here. Rob has turned on James Cameron. There we go. Yesterday, Ubisoft had its earnings call, which revealed that an upcoming large game will not be released by the end of the fiscal year.
Are you saying I have turned on him or I turn him on?
I don't
know. I do have talents.
He told me he wanted to sink your sub. So I don't know what that
Heart
even
of the
means.
ocean, Jason. Heart of the ocean.
Okay. The company Ubisoft can therefore confirm its announced guidance of strong top line growth and non-IFRS operating income of approximately £400 million without releasing the other large game had initially planned to launch euros during the last quarter of the current fiscal year. The company has decided to launch the other large game in fiscal year 24-25 so as to maximize its value creation. So yeah, this story, dude, like when I read it on bestbinbulletin.com, where you can become a Patreon supporter and send them.
I thought I quit. Rob told me
That's what I thought too, man. I thought you quit.
I didn't quit.
Yeah, you quit.
There's no news. Like, what am I supposed to talk about?
I'm gonna turn it into Andor ad Atten.
Just do what Meg does and just be like,
and I just make shit
Bosk is gonna kill Andor.
yeah.
What do you mean? Meg says new Bad Batch content on Wednesday. What does that mean? What do you mean new Bad Batch content on Wednesday? They doing it?
Maybe they'll announce when it's coming out.
Yeah. What's it coming out, Bespin?
I'm not saying.
The release. Many believe that the mystery title suffering a delay is Outlaws due to a report from Kotaku from May of this year, where the outlet revealed that Ubisoft was hoping to release Star Wars Outlaws within its next fiscal year, so before the 1st of April 2024. However, within the same article, it was mentioned by Kotaku that window of release felt too ambitious, according to their sources close to the project, with those sources adding that they didn't expect the video game to release until Ubisoft's next fiscal window, April 2024 to March 2025. So there you go. Ubisoft had 3 additional major releases planned for release within the fiscal year at the time of the Kotaku report, which was last May. Assassin's Creed Mirage, which has already been released, and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which is set to release in December following a delay from last year, with gameplay impressions released next week, which is true, according to As a Truth is that happened. And their much delayed pirate adventure title, Skull and Bones. I like pirates. I think I might look at that game. Ubisoft confirmed during their latest earnings call that Skull and Bones had been delayed into the 4th quarter of the fiscal year, meaning it's set to be released sometime before March 31st, 2024. Unfortunately, it seems all signs point to delays of Outlaws. I know this may frustrate fans who are looking forward to Outlaws, but a delay will only benefit the quality of the game and hopefully the developers working on the project. And then you can support Bespin Bulletin on Coffee and Patreon and listen to his Bob podcast.
That's actually on break, the podcast.
The
because
podcast.
There's no news. There's nothing to talk about.
Podcast quit. Official.
Mm-hmm. Now's a good time, Bespin, to go and rewatch a bunch of shows no one cares about and talk about them, right?
I'm rewatching One Piece at the moment. You know?
Okay. So we have 900 more episodes to go?
Is that 800? 800
more? All right.
Yeah. I fully caught up to One Piece, and I was just bored, so I'm just rewatching One Piece.
Yeah.
Who knew something called One Piece would be 1,000 pieces long?
Mm-hmm.
Who would have
thought? My version of that is I started It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I'm watching that, and I don't know, there's something like 15 seasons of it or some shit. It's crazy.
In the quitter's defense, though, Jason, I do like a good treasure hunt, So,
all right, in the chat, put 1 if you're excited for Outlaws, and put 2 if you don't care. because Vestman and I were
This
talking.
this isn't the place to do that. Like,
this is the perfect
that.
place to do this.
Because
It's
not everybody.
It's not the perfect place because this like
One,
community
two,
is
you don't care.
just so like
No, be
hardcore Star
accurate.
Wars. They're all gonna say yes.
No,
Like,
no,
Are
this
they
will be
though?
accurate.
I don't know. See, Jake don't give a fuck, dude. Look at Jake.
Jake a real one,
Jake don't care. Skywalker don't care. Chris don't care. I think we keep it real. Oh, look at Robert Sinclair. He doesn't even know. He's 1.5. Robert wins. It's like, I don't know. As True doesn't know what to say. As True is dumbfounded.
I've told you, like anytime I've done game stuff, and I used to encourage you to do more game stuff on here because it did well for me. Like if I do Eclipse or Survivor or whatever other game,
right?
Yeah.
Like
it'd get decent views. Like anytime I do Outlaws, it doesn't really do anything. Like I did this article the other day. Like this article had 480 views. That is it.
Yeah. No,
is...
and but look at, I mean, the chat could be reactionary to you saying that they wouldn't say that. That said,
I don't
there are more twos than ones.
My opinion, Jason. You know what I
mean? but there are way more twos than ones right now. I can't count, so I'm just making that up. But yeah, I mean,
it's science.
That's true. I like After True silver lining. Outlaws will be more popular than Bad Batch and stuff.
But Jason, isn't Omega, Cal Kestis, and Grogu the future of Star Wars?
Omega. Oh, Meg got called out. Meg got called out. No,
it's the future. It's the future.
Well, no, the thing with Outlaws, like, and I think we've all said this at one point, is if it doesn't have lightsabers, it's going to be lesser in the gaming people, because that's like the main feature of a Star Wars game, is that you can get lightsabers when you can't really get lightsabers necessarily in any other game but Castle Crashers that I could think of on top of my head.
I mean, it's also, and it's not an opinion that I share, but it's
great.
An opinion of, sexists. They don't want to play it because it's a female protagonist.
Yeah.
It's a female protagonist that doesn't have a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they all bought they're lining up to buy the Horizon Zero Dawn remake.
Well, I mean, that's like, I mean, gamers are just like fucking weird. I mean, you go to a Five Nights at Freddy's screening and look at
I don't think gamers are weird.
You think it's Star Wars fans that are weird?
I think it's some Star Wars. I think it's some, not all, definitely not all.
My problem isn't that she's a woman. It's that she has that fucking I do coke with Jason's mom in the 80s haircut. That's my problem with her.
And again, the people, before they kick off, the people who said like 2 in year, I'm not that excited either. I'll play it day one, but I'm not that excited. I'm not saying anybody who says they're not interested is a sexist. This is a subsection of people that won't be interested just because it's a woman and a woman without a lightsaber.
But you've only seen like what I consider to be a pre-rendered trailer, despite what they say. And to be fair, compressed trailers on YouTube are not accurate to gameplay. And that's for any game. Even Jedi Fallen Order, when you see actual gameplay, looks way better in engine than it does on YouTube. So I'm telling you, when that game is real and they can actually run around and do shit, and they're playing it on their Xboxes or the PlayStation 5s, they're all gonna eat crow and just buy the fucking game anyway. Yeah. So now, will it have the same cultural impact as a Jedi game? Ooh. I don't know. I say no, but I say no even if this game was 1313. I mean, remember there was a bounty hunter game featuring Jango Fett that no one remembers, and the Republic Commandos games. Whatever.
1313. Sorry.
Yeah, no. The one on the
game. It was
GameCube,
just called Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Yeah. And no one remembers. And Starfighter, no one remembers.
I think it wasn't it free on PlayStation? I think I own that game because it came with my Darth Vader PlayStation. Does that sound right?
There was even a freaking Kenobi game no one remembers.
Yeah,
on Xbox.
That game crashed on an Xbox.
See, I remember all this shit, Rob. I'm not a fake fan.
Yeah, you were like the right age for that, right?
If you say that 3 times a day, it might be true. No. You're a quitting fan. That's the difference.
Oh, no.
So I'll look in the mirror 3 times a day and say Biggie Smalls,
Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls.
Sharon, you're sleeping with Tupac.
Right.
But yeah. As it true says, for casual Star Wars fans, but for more gamer fans, I think it will. Open world games, no matter how bad, are popular.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be. I think
people keep buying those Assassin's Creed games, Jason. Remember that?
I like open world games a lot. But Assassin's Creed, I played it several times and I could never get into it. I tried it. I got it free like several different times, different great games on it. I tried to play it. I just don't like them.
Yeah,
I like traversing in time. I don't care for all the other weird shit.
Yeah.
The only time I enjoyed an Assassin's Creed game was when I was high and trying to eat a kebab at the same time.
That sounds fun.
I like how you say kebab, like almost like Peter
Kebab.
Griffin. It's a kebab. It's a kebab.
Yeah.
It's a kebab.
Yeah.
I was more of a doner kebab, right? Doner. Yeah, doner.
Yeah, I have the lamb one. I don't like chicken. Like I like chicken, but not the chicken doner.
Yeah, I think they also just took Bounty Hunter very recently and did a re-release, one of those retro like physical media re-releases of it, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that just happened too. Which is cool. They actually did one of Maniac Mansion I wanted to buy, but it was like $80.
What?
I didn't buy it. But...
What if it was a live service game, but it was only female protagonists?
Live service,
and they're all gay. Like, does that sell or not sell?
Yeah, it sells. It does
sell. Sells. Okay.
I mean, but that is like, yeah. On that front, though, once again, Disney will do anything that sells. Disney, I don't think usually will do things that don't work on that kind of front. They know what they're doing. They just did it so much though that what they're doing is overtly obvious, and South Park was able to roast them on it.
And they're creating, and they're doing it across not just Star Wars but Marvel and like, so it just
If we move on,
it's a real shame because. Sorry, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
I just want to say, if with a delay, I don't expect to see it until probably the holiday season of next year. I know they haven't said that.
I think October.
October, November
time for
it always happens. Every Star Wars game that comes out, there's usually a show or movie alongside it. So one of the shows will be there at that point, and the game will come out.
Yeah. As a true. So actually, I want to fight as a true about this one. Honestly, I'm glad Ubi didn't say Outlaws outright. If it is, it would be a PR nightmare. Most haven't taken notice of the delay and aren't assuming it's in big trouble. It may come before summer still. See, that's the whole thing though, is that instead, like they played this ambiguity game. They never gave a release date. So why not just use this as the opportunity to fucking turn it around and then give a release date? You know what I mean? Or like a release window, like fourth quarter of whatever. Like just do that. And then everybody, because we didn't have a release date, so I don't think we had a release date. So I don't think we actually lost anything. Right?
No. So, all we knew, it was that they were aiming for like the fourth quarter of their fiscal year. We only know that through earnings calls.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, as you would know, not a lot of people take interest in that. If you write an article on it, do a show on it, there's not a lot of interest. And it's the same thing now. Like if they had just in that earnings, because I'm not the only one who worked this out. Other like outlets did it, Insider Gaming, and I think Kotaku did it. A bunch of them did. All signs point towards it being Outlaws. So no matter what, Outlaws had headlines anyway.
Right.
But if they had said like within the first half of our fiscal 24-25 year, we intend to release Outlaws, that probably would have generated positive headlines.
Yeah.
And infiltrated the news cycle, saying, well, Star Wars is coming out in the second half of 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Nintendo's willing to just outright delay a game, then anyone can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but remember with Avatar when they delayed it, they were like, yes, move it into like the next fiscal year, but they were almost trying to say it would be like fairly early in the fiscal year, but it was an entire year, basically.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we know like the Kotaku report from May, we didn't even know it was called Outlaws at that point, and they were saying that it's probably like a year on top of what they're saying. Like it's too ambitious of a window. So I don't expect it till the holiday, and that's when as a company you want to get your big flagship title out. If they don't have an Assassin's Creed next year, if they don't have I don't know, like another Rainbow Six game or a Tom Clancy game, this is going to be their flagship. Because it looks like they're trying to get Skull and Bone out by April. You know, so that might be that big spring
of
title.
2038.
Yeah, I don't believe it'll come out, but yeah.
Has that game been in like development hell or something?
Oh
9
yeah,
years.
yeah.
Forever.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not even like exaggerating that number. Like that's
Yeah.
it was originally supposed to be out like on last gen systems.
Yeah.
Even
Was this
toward
supposed to
the
be like
back end of
2017? It was initially supposed to come out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was announced around 2014,
Yeah.
2015. Yeah. Because it was announced right after Assassin's Creed 3. Remember? Because it was like, oh, the pirate thing's cool. We're gonna make a whole game out of that, and then here we go. You know.
Well, as the truth says, it's not big headlines in my own opinion. I can see how it could have been worse.
It's not big headlines because
I
Star Wars Outlaws and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is that
To the
Outlaws right now?
balls.
No, what I think Outlaws will do fine when it's.
I think it'll do fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that at the moment when it feels far away, I don't think anybody cares. Everyone's like, oh yeah, okay. And then also I think that there's just low confidence in Lucasfilm's output to see anything through. So I don't think people give a shit about anything Star Wars based until it's at the finish line.
Well, I don't think when they showed the trailer, the gameplay of it last year, I don't think there was anything in there that like jumped out at people necessarily.
I can't remember anything but like she's like driving a speeder bike and running from somebody. Like
there was no like moment, you know.
Right.
There's nothing that really
it's
stood
a
out.
teaser trailer. It's not a full thing, you know.
It was just it just looks like a open world Star Wars game. That is just what it looked like, you know. It was
and to be fair, the environments are so detailed and big enough in Fallen Order. It's not like you don't already own something that is visually comparable at this point, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you go from Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild, that's a giant change when you get that teaser trailer. The Fallen Order to Outlaws is not a giant change.
With the amount of storied content that Outlaws should have in it, I would imagine that when it comes time for like the real trailer, they should be able to do a pretty good job at cutting something together that's pretty enticing, I would think. You know what I mean? Based off of the fact, I mean, if you just look at it like even as a third-rate GTA, imagine what kind of trailer you could do just from the amount of content in Grand Theft Auto. So I'm hoping that it connects. And it's
the problem though, Jason, is they're not going to see it as like a GTA. They're gonna see it. The fans, the hardcores, are going to see this as trying to be something like between No Man's Sky and Starfield. Can you go to a planet and actually land down and fly all the way on and get in a parking garage and change your own tires and shit? Like, you know, all the stupid shit you wouldn't want to do in a game anyway, even if you could. Yeah. But they're gonna focus on all that stuff versus.
I'm gonna scissor with a Minoc. So the first thing.
Okay, well, fair enough. You can do that on the Quest.
So, okay.
Yeah, but just that's the whole game.
By the way, last night,
small games.
I already had to. I hope this isn't a sign of things to come, but I went to start up the Quest 3 for Luke. You know, Luke got a Quest 3 for his birthday. Went to start it up, and it was just the little Android logo. I had to do like a hard restore on it already.
Oh no!
I was like, "Come on, guys!" Already
sounds like a software glitch. Yeah.
It might have been from like a mod he put on it or something, but I don't know.
Oh no!
Aftertrue says lightsabers is the main issue. Months old Outlaws info for me has been performing better than any Star Wars game on Twitter for me. They put out 10 minutes of gameplay, so there's little room for speculation.
Yeah, and this gets back into the interview that was on the AIGA podcast with Tim Price, president of Insomniac. He does a podcast for the games industry, and they had the director of Fallen Order on, you know, the first game, and what it was like. They had internally built that game, pitched it to Lucasfilm, and Lucasfilm was like, does it have to be Jedi? Could it be a bounty hunter? Like, they were trying to weasel out of the Jedi, and he's like, no. Like, we specifically designed that combat, you know?
Well, no, I mean, that's the thing is like I don't actually need a Mandalorian game. I don't care if they make one or not. I just don't give a shit. but in
like
terms
Super
of
Star Wars.
but in terms of being a bounty hunter in a 3D game with all of the tools of a bounty hunter, like flamethrowers and cables that come out and tie up people and all, like the opportunity for the gameplay stuff is huge, and they almost never do it.
Here's the thing, though, Jason.
But this game
you're
ain't
talking about
either,
GTA.
So,
but you're talking about GTA. We've had
Not
GTA
now.
5 now for 20 years now, right? Right, Bestman? Right?
Mhm.
We got 7 different. And last I checked, they perfected the idea of 3 different characters. So you could have a Jedi game, a Star Wars game called Outlaws, where you got 3 characters. One's a Jedi, one's a Mando, one's a
Cook.
one's Meg, and then
Star Wars
Meg. Star Wars Meg. Yeah,
you just do this.
You just get to do aggregate Star Wars news. Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah, yeah. And you get to not credit Benson.
I don't know, why are we roasting Meg today? Is it just her turn? Is it just her day? Sorry, Meg.
I don't know.
Meg, come and hang out with us this week.
She only goes on Star Wars Santa shows now. She doesn't come on anymore. That's why. So that's why. We only roast the folks we love. Everyone else is as a true.
So Eclipse
is as a true.
Yeah,
everyone else is as
I was trying to move on from that. Come on, man. So, like I said, they could do that like GTA. Yeah, but Eclipse isn't a real game. Like, it's not. Come on, Eclipse is a tax shelter, right? Like, it's trying to get out of Brexit taxes or something. Like, it's a trick.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly don't expect to ever see that game.
But what Rob said about like the GTA 5 thing of choosing between 3 different characters, like at any point in the gameplay you can just switch to Michael or Trevor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If that was a part of Outlaws, for example, as Rob is saying, that would make headlines. That'll make more casual fans more excited than what they already are.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it's a cool idea. I think they should maybe try something.
I just think after GTA 5, there's no reason not to. And Star Wars is the perfect fucking thing for this.
Well, and GTA 5 shows you how. You're right. GTA 5 is a map on how to do it. It's not.
Well, Spider-Man just done it like between 2 characters.
Well, what characters are you in Spider-Man?
Peter Parker and Miles Morales.
Spider-Man. Oh, okay. Spider-Man.
You're Spider-Man and a Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the 3rd game, though, there might be more than those guys. You never know.
You never know. I mean, it might be good to be J. Jonah Jameson.
I hope so.
As the truth. So speaking of games, a new Respawn job listing for FPS game talks about destructive gunplay interactions it'll have. So that's cool. Yeah. The I'm wondering what's up with the ILM X Labs company, whatever it's called now, and like VR stuff. I'm kind of thinking that they might be out of it, but the fact that
after Elon Musk, they couldn't call themselves X anymore, so now they're going to be At-Atten Labs.
Labs, yeah. But I was gonna say that I think that I don't think that they're doing any games because like we've had PlayStation's VR came out, and then they just did a revised version of the Quest game, which is fine, it's good, but then you have the Quest 3 is out, and there's nothing on the horizon that's been announced to say like, and there's nothing for the Quest 3 launch. They haven't updated the Vader Immortal game to run in higher quality on the Quest. Like, I'm wondering, like, is that company does it exist? What's going on, with them? And we never got anything from a Droid Story. That movie was never made. So I'm like, is that company, are they still around?
No, they
Droid Story.
They cut all the droids down and sold their nipples off as coins.
Challenge coins.
Yeah,
you gotta
challenge
get them all.
coins. Yeah.
You want C-3PO's titties? You got to get this coin. I was listening to a couple of podcasts with ILM X Lab people. They didn't give much, but they were talking about AR mixed reality stuff. So like, and then and like everything. So number one is Quest 3's the mixed reality stuff on Quest 3 is pretty amazing. Like, it's pretty good. And like, like the room was like will break apart, your guns will shoot and put like damage and stuff like that. But the one thing that I would say is, it would be fun to take your headset in and do that in like Galaxy's Edge. If they let you, they wouldn't let you, but that would be fun, right? But mixed reality stuff, Like, what can I expect for Star Wars? Oh, look, it's like I'm in Star Wars, but I'm also in my home city, in my house. Like, that's lame.
Do you think that
but like a Grogu pet or something could be a fun experience, I guess.
do you think that this could be tied to the Apple Vision Pro?
Probably.
Just due to Disney's like relationship with Apple?
I could see Disney convincing Apple to pay for the development of it to put in their ads and stuff, and then that's why like they go forward with it or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. And then maybe the Quest 3 gets like the bastardized version of it or something. But
yeah,
AR
$1,500 game system. People complain about PS5 being fucking
nobody's
expensive.
nobody's gonna fucking play it if that happens. Nobody's gonna get one. And unless like in a year or two they have like, you know, a $500-600 version coming out, which is, I guess, is possible that they're developing down the road for that time.
Nobody's reading the room worse than Apple right now with that system. Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, that's just I think they're just taking the hardcore Apple fanboys for a ride, you know, like they do from time to time. They just do it. Baymax asks, is the droid story scrapped? I think so. I don't have anything concrete on that because there doesn't appear to be anything going on with it. At all.
My thing on it was was it last year or the year before? I can't even remember.
It was a while ago that you had that, like
there was like a Lucasfilm thing ongoing at like Pinewood, and I had seen people there for it, and these people had like worked in video games. Just initially led me to think maybe it's Survivor related, and it wasn't apparently.
They confirmed to you that it wasn't.
They told me that it wasn't, at least. Right. Yeah. So, and then, and they were there for a little while. It wasn't very long. It was around a similar time, like Anthony Daniels was seen in a motion capture suit. You know, when
but he just does that for kinks. He wears it around.
So. Yeah, but but like these guys who were like involved in that stuff, they all had like. The people they were hiring had like performance capture like experience and all this sort of stuff, but it made me think that initially, then like after I moved from Survivor, there would be Droid Story because everything else had wrapped at that point.
Right.
You know, it couldn't have been anything else other than that option. It seemed. So I don't know what it is or what became of it. Even after Survivor released, I asked them if it was Survivor, like those people, because then if it was that they were in. It had been released. They could probably maybe tell me, and they said nothing. They said it wasn't Survivor still. So I don't know if it was a Droid Story, but based off of what we knew of it, like it was a collaboration between like ILM X Labs and just all that stuff. It was it could have been
my pet theory on your story is that it was some kind of developmental test, and that they were doing stuff that might have made it into it, might not have, and then that's what it amounted to. But it being a game that doesn't require, or not a game, a show or whatever that doesn't really require people to know necessarily what they're involved with, there's a chance it's just being done slowly and low key, and like, you know what I mean, and just like, because when you're doing something in VR, I mean, we usually don't have visual effects leaks. And this is like essentially a movie made in visual effects. Mm-hmm. So I could kind of see it going under the radar and still happening. That's kind of my out here. If it does happen, I'll just be like, sneaky.
What if they do smaller versions and they just call them Droid Quibbies?
Droid Quibbies, Quibi.
Yeah.
You can watch it like this or like this.
Yeah, it's great. Vertically.
So
everyone likes to watch their videos vertically.
During the pandemic, one of my like side gigs that I did was this guy was writing a book, like a corporate book about business, and he wanted me to like rewrite it, write it like not in his writing kind of thing. Like, okay, but I got to write the chapter on Quibi because Quibi was such a mistake with the CEO's fuck up. That was the only fun I had on that. Fucking Quibi, dude, it was so funny. Azurtrue says that Apple are set to release cheaper glasses in 2024, and ILM Immersive during the rebrand. ILM Immersive, I can never remember the name. During the rebrand, said they're moving to MR stuff. Pair that with Star Wars and the Vision Pro event. That's what's coming, and it's sad. And yeah, that's like oh my god, look at me, I'm sitting in the cockpit of the N1 Naboo starfighter while I watch The Mandalorian. Oh my god, I could masturbate in here. It's like, what? No, nobody wants that, you jackasses. What are you guys doing? That reminds me of the general like infantilization that Lucasfilm likes to do to their very stupid clients. They really do that.
You know what it reminds me of for
they're
real
all
though?
fucking stupid and they'll like that. Nobody's gonna like
I agree with you, but I think what it really reminds me of is, remember when Nintendo was really against making any kind of games that had guns in it?
Yeah.
And so like they were trying to find ways to do games that weren't violent, but still they wanted that violent money. So you get games like Geist. You get games like, and finally it took them 10 fucking years of this dodging around, trying to be really clever. And finally they just made Splatoon, which just has guns. Like they don't have ammo, has paint, but like it's not broken. VR isn't broken. No one's made the killer app yet. And Beat Saber ain't it. Like make a real game. And you would think flying around and fucking, X-Wings and running around with lightsabers, it's a no-brainer, but they just haven't made a real game based around that. They've done all these smaller things. And it's like, just make the fucking the best Jedi game. I mean, the fact that the biggest selling game in VR is basically a lightsaber rhythm game is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
will say though, they'll never do it in this day and age, but an AR Maniac Mansion game would be awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, exploring.
If you can map your house and then it randomly puts stuff, the microwave in your house. You know what I mean? And you can put the hamster in it.
You remember a game show, Jason, back in the 80s called Finders Keepers?
Yeah.
It was this big house where it had rooms in it on Nickelodeon, and they would hide something. You had to go and tear the room apart to find the one thing, and then go to another room. Well, I tried playing that game at home one time and pissed my dad off something fierce. All the pots and pans and the food.
As it also says, Tales from Galaxy's Edge has been a top seller for PSVR 2. Vader Immortal is still selling well. It's one of the first purchases Quest owners get. Make a new game. Well, I would say though, being a top seller on the PlayStation VR 2 is like saying my band is big in Guam. You know what I mean?
My last name is big in Guam. So what do you say?
Yeah. No, I mean it's just, I mean I don't know.
It's like saying you're the lead of the Bob podcast, right, Jason?
It's like saying
it is.
I'm the number one I on the country rap charts. I'm huge. Like what? You know what I mean? It's not like really that big of a platform. So yeah. I mean but I mean it is a fun game.
It's like saying you have VIP tickets to Baymax's green room, right, Jason?
Yeah. Go. Oops.
Okay.
Jedi Mike says Guam rocks. Yeah, nothing against Guam. Tyrant says
that would be a fucking fantastic band name, Guam Rocks.
Guam rocks.
Oh yeah, if you're from Guam and you got a rock band, take that one.
Hey, Batu bitch. If Half-Life Alyx and Astrobot, the best game for Sony's first party in the last decade. Yeah, Half-Life Alyx is really, really fun. It's really good.
Yeah, and Astrobot's like a real game. It's just a game. It's not trying to be clever. Like the cleverness. Look, sometimes you can be clever and get away with it, and you innovate. But let's be honest, 90% of the other time, just be really good at making something that's it's just a game. People are still. It's not like people aren't buying regular games. It's just these companies. They are. What's that? It's something to do with the Silicon Valley whole like. We have to be constantly innovating. And it's like, you haven't innovated the hardware on the iPhone, still selling. So just make solid fucking games. Try that for once. Stop trying to like make weird monetization schemes, weird Candy Crushing fucking when Amazon did their games and all of it's this weird micro. Just make a fucking solid ass. When I boot up the Quest, I get to go into Star Wars. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I boot up you could choose. I mean, like, just make me a fucking Star Wars. Make me an actual arcade room where I can have all the arcade cabinets the way they existed. You know what I mean? With the fucking games. And I can buy the action figures and put them. People will just buy it.
Yeah.
Like it's just not hard.
Star Wars Pinball in Quest VR is great. It's really good. It's really fun. It looks good, plays well. You know.
Do you know where I want? What'll sell me on getting a Quest or something?
Mm-hmm.
You guys seen Blade Runner 2049?
Right.
I seen right. You know when Ryan Gosling comes home and he has the Ana de Armas like thing in his house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish I could just put on a headset and it's just it's my house or whatever, and it's just like a Bix that comes in and greets me and talks to me and
they
asks me about my day.
They have a PCVR thing that's like that, and all these like dudes make like custom like celebrities and women and porn stars and stuff, and they like sell it on Patreon and shit. Yeah, it was funny. I like looked into it for research because I was like at first at first I thought because you're able to we could make hilarious videos with them because they look like pretty real, but then I was like it got a little bit too like weird for me. Steven says, you guys think there's a chance of the strike ending soon? It looks like things are getting there. It looks like it's gonna be ending this week, probably. What do you think, Bestman?
Mm-hmm.
You think we're at the finish line for the strike?
I think so. Everything seems very optimistic if you read what's come out over the last 2 days.
Yeah.
It seemed optimistic last week as well, so I think they are getting to a point of it. Like we said,
I think they're gonna fuck it up.
You think so, Rob? Do you really?
I think they fucked it up a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
No.
No. A few weeks ago.
I don't think anyone's hurting enough. Like for the studios aren't really they didn't have any movies planned this Christmas anyway. You know, so they don't really care. I mean, everyone knows Aquaman's not going to do well, so what do they give a shit?
But it's more like about down the road that I think like when we start getting.
I don't think they care. I mean, I know 3 years. What's 3 years? And wait another.
But even though the
3
stuff
months.
that was filming, like blockbusters they had planned for next year, like they had to pause those.
They were threatening to cancel shows.
They're threatening to cancel shows. The other thing as well is everybody knows this was supposed to be done in like October, right? Like that was the initial like from everybody on both sides, right? It was like October is when they wanted it done. That fell through. They were so far apart on it, and they took a week or two off. They've now come back and they're very close to it again, it seems. And if you remember, it was going around the studios that obviously they threatened to cancel certain TV shows, but they were also claiming that if it wasn't resolved around this time, that they weren't going to negotiate over the holiday period, and that this would drag on till January. So all those actors that are struggling would have to go through a cold Christmas, essentially, which is words that was used for the writers like a few months back, that they were willing to let them suffer through the holiday period. So I think everybody's trying to work together at this point to get it done before that.
Yeah. They have, I mean, if they don't get it done and then it goes into the next thing, then that's 3 more months of either, or what is it? 3 months? November,
it would be about 2 months, close to 2 months.
2 months. But that's like 2 months of having to catch up in production. It's going to cost them a lot of money. Paying overtime to get, to make up that time, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think anybody actually wants it. And then when it comes to the actors, you have the people that are fucking just well off and they could, go forever with never working again and be fine, and then everybody else is poor. So I think for most of the actors, it isn't something that you could just sit on your hands. Like they want it to end now. Most of the actors who I know are like mad that it wasn't resolved. I was a little bit surprised by that, but they are, because they're just like, yeah, I can't really care about what's going to happen in 10 years right now because I need to eat now.
And even those as well, it's all the people that aren't actors, who aren't writers, that are suffering. Like the people who I know like work at like all these film studios in the UK, they haven't worked for months.
Yeah,
like they haven't been able to do their job because there's no work for them, and they're like innocent bystanders in it. They
start a DJ career.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do is get a big table and just stand there with the headphones and kind of move and DJ.
All right, that's fair.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we did it, guys. We're talking about DJs now. So
need a lift.
Tomorrow, the show will be brought to you by Tom's Computer, powered by Tom's Computer, and so yeah, hopefully tomorrow I get to like set that up, and we'll be back this week with like more shows, and might be able to do new things with it. Who knows? We'll experiment. We'll see what happens. But Bespin, thanks for
You
stopping
think
by.
it'll be able to run Chat GPT?
Yes.
Because I want to write some Bespin articles, and
no, that's when that's how I'm replacing you, Rob.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna have it analyze everything you've ever said, and then it'll just be like, married with children.
My wife's been with me almost 20 years now, and she can't figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Key phrases:
the words.
James Cameron,
James
Tom
Cameron.
Cruise, Leah Thompson,
Christopher McQuarrie.
Christopher McQuarrie.
Yes.
Tom Cruise is not in a cult.
No, he's definitely in a cult. I just don't care.
Oh, okay.
I just don't care.
Do you read about Will Smith's like school?
What?
So Will Smith and his wife like started a school, and
I know about Kanye's school. I didn't know about Will Smith's school.
So Will Smith and his wife started a school, and it was like obviously very private and elite, and basically found out that they were teaching the kids Scientology.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's
makes
that.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. I like it.
All right. Well, everybody become a Scientologist. Come back tomorrow and tell us how it was. we'll see everybody. We'll see everybody. I don't know. I want to do a show tomorrow with the new computer, but I don't know if it'll come in time. So if it comes early in the morning, then I think we'll do a show. And if it doesn't, we'll do a show on the 1st of November. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Make sure you like the video and all that jazz, and we'll see everybody in the next day or so. All right. Bye.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey! It's the end of the show. Come on, let's go. Hey! It's the end of the show. Come on, let's go. Hey! You know you should go. Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.